What's going on, America? This is Kevin from Kevin's Corner, trying to make sense out of nonsense. And you know, one of the things we have to contend with in life is that everything has an expiration date. From the day you're born, you begin to die. Your cells start to divide, start to lose information. Then all of a sudden you start getting cracks and lines in your face, and you wake up one day and realize you're just a shell of a man. You're going, man, one day I was nice, big, and strong, and powerful, and felt invincible. Now I'm a withered old man. Your thoughts aren't as sharp as they used to be. You're not as quick with the tongue. Your voice goes from having this bass and baritone in it to, you know what? Now I understand. Well, why do old people talk like that? It just happens over time. You know what? Well, I was looking at some of the old heads that were part of the Democratic Party, and I was thinking to myself, they don't realize that at this point their expiration date has come, okay? They are now spoiled milk. They are now rotten. People like Nancy Pelosi, she's now expired. And I'm not talking about death. I'm talking about to the point where nobody wants to drink the milk anymore because it's starting to turn into cream cheese, okay? It's no longer good and tasty. Let it go. Throw the milk out. Same thing with Mad Maxine. She's still running for office out there in California. Now, maybe the Californians, they like to drink spoiled milk. They like to eat rotten cheese and molded bread. I'm not sure. But if I was them, I would sniff the bread. And the bread is beyond. Maxine, no, there's no recovery. The bread is beyond ripping off the edges and just eating the substance. No, throw the bread out, all right? Same thing with Chuck Schumer and all of them. But. There's another person on this list of expiration dates, and that is none other than Jesse Jackson. Jesse had the nerve to get on the Laura Ingraham show trying to defend Colin Kaepernick and embarrassed himself. See, Jesse is outdated right now and trying to stay relevant. And you know, of course, his main substance is race baiting. That's how he makes his cheese, okay? But he's no longer sharp and witty like he used to be. And you know, I'm watching Jesse in this interview with Laura Ingraham, and I'm starting to wonder. I'm like, Jesse, do you realize that your expiration date is gone? I mean, it said from 19 whatever when you was born to maybe 2010. Don't drink past 2010, okay? But Jesse is still out there on the shelf saying, come drink a little bit of Jesse because I'm still fresh, and I'm not. No, he's not. He's spoiled. So let's check out what Jesse had to say to Laura Ingraham. Talk to us.
On the witness stand, Kaepernick is the quarterback who began the NFL's kneeling protests during the national anthem, as you recall. And Yahoo Sports is reporting that Kaepernick's attorneys want to subpoena Trump to testify in his lawsuit against the NFL.
You're kidding me.
Well, Kaepernick filed a grievance case against the NFL after no team would hire him. So does Cap have a case? Let's debate that with the Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Now, this is the man who brought all of this on himself, but now he's trying to blame President Trump. Got the nerve to bring up a lawsuit and try to bring the president into this to testify about why he couldn't get hired. I mean, this is a prime case of pointing a finger and not the thumb. Kaepernick, Pumpernickel here, is really the sum total of his own choices. He's the one decided to take a knee, not thinking about the backlash. So I don't even want to hear from Pumpernickel. And yet he got the nerve to say, well, let's bring the president in, break all of his important stuff that he has to do so he can come in and talk about Pumpernickel's choice and why he's not getting picked up by the NFL.
Jackson, I don't think you and I have talked.
Now watch Jesse Jackson's face.
1998. So I'm glad to have you on the show. Thanks so much for being with us. Let's talk about what is going on.
Did you see the uncomfortable silence right there? First of all, Jesse is mad for nothing. I was wondering if they needed to hold a mirror up to Jesse's nose just to see if he was breathing. I mean, I was wondering, did the frame freeze? I'm like, did it freeze? She was like, good to see you. My man Jesse just sat there. You know, did he hear her? I'm not sure what just happened. But anyway, let's see what Jesse got to say.
These NFL protests. Do you actually think that the NFL lawsuit that Kaepernick apparently is going to file as grievance would be a proper grounds to have Donald Trump, the president of the United States, testify, and why?
Well, he exercised his First Amendment right to protest for his rights. Protest really was about police brutality that went unanswered. Rodney King beaten nearly to death. without consequences. Diallo shot and killed in New York by police, but without consequences. Abner Louima jammed in the rectum until he nearly bled to death in New York. The case of Brown in Ferguson, Missouri. And so somebody said, well, don't Black Lives Matter? Aren't there consequences to what's happening to us? And the kneeling was an appeal to the flag in a peaceful protest. It was not burning or desecrating the flag, an appeal. We've gone on our knees appealing for the government to recognize our right to vote in 1965. So there was nothing harmful or threatening about kneeling to the flag.
No, I understand what your
Okay,
point of view
so
is on that. Totally.
first of all, Jesse starts off and it sounds like he has some type of cotton balls in the store. But nonetheless, Jesse starts to bring up the cases starting way back with Rodney. And of course, you know what happened to him where he received a whole heap of money for getting beat. Now, I ain't justifying getting beat, but if you're going to take a butt whooping, you might as well take a butt whooping and get a whole bunch of money for taking that butt whooping. So we got a lot of cheese for that butt whooping. Nonetheless, there's some cases that he brought up that are questionable, but then he brings up Michael Brown, which if you look at the facts, remember, this was the situation down in Ferguson that Jesse went down there and had the nerve to get up and tell the people before any of the facts, this here was an assassination. Of course, what do you think's gonna happen? Folk gonna get mad, start tearing up the joint. Jesse gets in his nice car, goes back to the airport, flies back home while everybody tear up everything, okay? But as you found out that Michael Brown actually got himself shot. It wasn't the police officer's fault. It was Michael Brown, but yet he's still bringing that case up. And that was one of the main reasons that Kaepernick started taking a knee. That's also what Black Lives Matter formed out of. Okay, but let's continue with Jesse.
What does that have to do
Thank you, Laura.
with President Trump testifying in a grievance against the NFL? I mean,
by interfering in the process, he has to convince his constituents of the de facto boycott and the owners to, in fact, put a penalty before the players if they, in fact, choose.
Well, he stated his opinion, though.
Okay, so now here go Jesse. Jesse, see, this is what I have a problem with liberals. In politics, that is. And it bleeds out into liberals in society, too. To argue points that are not logical to argue, okay? Now, he's trying to make this connection here between why Kaepernick ain't getting a job and why the NFL is making the players either stay in the locker room or come out and stand. And once again, they're directing the attention towards something that had nothing to do with the results. They're saying that Trump is the reason why Kaepernick, one, didn't get picked up in the NFL. Number two, he's the reason why the NFL changed their policies. But really, he's not the reason why. What he did is simply vocalize his opinion. And when he said what he said during the rally, what happened is the liberal media said, ooh, this is an opportunity for us to take this statement instead of just saying, let's not even deal with that. That's his own opinion. We're not even going to spread that into the news. We're not going to make it into controversy so that it'll bring attention to everybody. Just like when he said the MS-13 was animals, he was just genuinely talking to everybody. The liberal media heard it and said, let's say that he called all the illegal immigrants or all immigrants animals. They made something that he said casually speaking to an audience into a controversy, which made it now go viral and made it into a race issue, and it backfired on him. Same thing with this. He makes the comment about he feels that by disrespecting the flag, the players should either, he said, wouldn't you like to see if they disrespected the flag, one of the coaches say, hey, get that guy off the field, get him out of here, you're fired. He wasn't talking about protesting. He wasn't talking about police brutality. He was talking about, of course, disrespecting the flag. But the liberal media saw him at the rally and saying that, and they said, let's take that statement out and say that Trump called all of the NFL players' mothers bees. And also, he basically saying, see, it's always big. He's basically saying that black men don't have the right to protest against this. They blew it up, brought it to the platform of America, and then threw it out there to say, now, what does America feel about this? America decided, you know what? Trump got a point. Now, if they would have let it just die, then it would have never got to this level. But when they tried to paint him as a racist for saying that, and it went viral, what ended up happening is America sided with Trump, and they showed that they sided with Trump because the ratings of the NFL declined, because they hitched their wagon to the protests. All the owners out there taking a knee with the players, thinking, yeah, we're going to get some brownie points from all of the people because they think Trump's a big fat racist. And they took a knee, and then it backfired. And then they had to go back to the drawing board, write up some new plays, and said, all right, this year what we're going to do is change this so we don't mess around and lose all of our support when it comes to Sunday mornings and whenever else we play. So Jesse here is getting mad at the wrong reason. She be mad at the media.
Opinion is no ordinary opinion
Uh-huh.
because he's the president, and he is
Okay,
campaign.
but the NFL. We're not going to get past that because as a legal matter, that's just preposterous. I mean, the president is not going to testify in Colin Kaepernick's suit. It's never going to happen. His lawyer knows it's never going to happen. His lawyer, frankly, should be sanctioned if he actually tries anything like that.
Uh-huh.
If
Thank
the
you.
judge had any manner, he'd actually be sanctioned because it's a spurious argument.
Part of it is now the way, for example, he protested. He used the Philadelphia Eagles, who in fact did not take a knee last year, as a basis to turn the public against an 80% black.
No, I don't think,
by the workers.
I would have had them come, Reverend Jackson, I would have had them come to the White House. If it was two people or if it was one, I would have made a different decision.
Okay, I can't let that go right there. I got to talk about this. Jesse first, 17 seconds of that. But nonetheless, tries to say that he used this platform to uninvite them, and 80% of them, of course, he always got bringing the black thing. 80% of them, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? He's not saying that those players didn't want to come to the White House anyway. I don't even know why everybody mad. Everybody got what they wanted. All the players, they didn't want to come. What they were trying to do is play some games, say, we don't want to go. Let's schedule the appearance when Trump's not there. So this way we ain't got to deal with the president. Okay, we'll come long as he ain't at the White House. Trump peeped that out and said, okay, they want to play silly games like that. How about this? How about I just say, you know what? Forget it. Nobody's coming. All right? Nobody. You're uninvited. Now, let's get back to what Jesse got to say.
I think it would be fair if
got somebody cutting the grass,
and
making
anyone
noise.
examining this would say, if you submit 80 names to the Secret Service,
thank you,
and then like 3 days later say, oh, sorry, we can't make it, and like 2 people in the mascot are coming, and we'll reschedule it when you're in Singapore. That's just lame.
Thank you, Laura.
They knew what they were doing. They did it on purpose, and that was low rent. Okay, so that was low rent.
What is Kaepernick, LeBron James, and Steph Curry? They're all saying we're insulted by the violations of our people by this president. When you
is that the black unemployment? Is that part of the violations of the people? I mean, is there any good news for Black America under this administration?
Now, see, this is what makes me mad. Race baiting like this. The assaults by this president on black people. This is inflammatory language that if people aren't wise enough to see the game, gonna get upset, going out there saying, man, I've been assaulted by the president. And you ask them how, and they go, it's a good question. I don't quite know, but Jesse Jackson told me that I was assaulted by the president. He's been assaulting black people. And then Laura starts to appeal to the intellect, the logic. Oh, wait, tell us how. You mean by the unemployment rate being very low? Is that how he assaulted us? I mean, tell us how he assaulted us, Jesse. See, this is nothing more than innuendos. It's like, let me throw something out that I can't back up and prove, but it sounds good, and it's going to make people get upset, and I'm going to infer that Trump has been assaulting black people, just like he's rolling back everybody's rights. He's just doing all of this crazy stuff. America's the worst it's ever been, but yet everybody's walking around going about life like they used to. But nonetheless, it's horrible out in these streets, according to Jesse.
Do you like the unemployment numbers? Do you like small businesses being created?
He inherited a growing economy. When
there we go.
Barack came in, we lost 800,000 jobs that month.
Okay, so it gets no credit.
No. A net gain of jobs for every month for 8 years.
Wages weren't going up. Wages
weren't
going up, Jesse. They were not going up.
And they're still not, because 54% of all blacks make less than $15 an hour. And a significant amount make less than $10. But right now, it's premature to determine what's going to happen with this provocative action toward Canada and Mexico, our neighbors. The triggering
we'll actually have better paying jobs in the United States. We'll actually have more manufacturing where people who don't go to fancy colleges actually can get a really high paying job like they used to when we actually had tariffs that were put in place by Democrat presidents and Republican.
Now, this right here is what frustrates a lot of conservatives. All right. They debate with some of the liberals, and you got him going straight into all of this stuff without looking at anything logically, practically, or whatever. He's talking about just basically black-white issues, and he's saying black people unemployment, they only making less than 15, all of this stuff. First of all, I have not heard any black people since Trump has been elected complaining about not being paid enough or having any jobs. Now, Jesse's throwing out stuff, but one thing they haven't been complaining about is, man, we ain't got no jobs out here, man. Unemployment, man, is so high. It's crazy. All they're complaining about is made up oppression that Jesse and the boys are pushing out into society. So whatever jobs that black people are working, they okay with that. But yet he's trying to distract them from their livelihood and things that matter in their life and get them focused on stuff that don't even exist. Talking about some oppression and assaults on black people, and yet they will vote against the very person who's providing the resources through bringing the economy back up. See, they don't realize it. They're going, let me focus on non-substance stuff, looking up here what Jesse's saying, and not looking at the substance that the person who he telling me vote against him, hate this man, is providing through his economic policies. So ridiculous. Then Jesse talking about the unemployment was going up when no it wasn't. What was happening is the economy was not going up. It was kind of flattening out. But what happened is Trump comes in and takes down all of the restrictions when it comes to regulations, and he brought the tax rates down, and all of a sudden, boom, stuff shoot off. But according to Obama, that was impossible to do. You can't grow this quickly. And he said he's going to have this GDP and he'll never reach that. That's ridiculous. And guess what? It's getting done.
President. So
let's wrap this up.
Yes. How you're turning that into an anti-black thing is beyond me.
Thank you, Lord.
If working for half America have more money than money, and if in fact they have a job in Chicago, you have to go through three transportation transfers to get to work.
Now, this is what I start getting concerned about his expiration date. Right now, in his brain, he's getting jumped. What's happening is his brain is going, we getting jumped, and I don't know what to say. We got to come up with something because she's making sense and bringing arguments that make me have to come with some facts and logic. But I'm scrambling here, so now let's prolong this by just stuttering full of That's what we're trying to do. The brain is sitting back like, okay, let's hold her off, keep stuttering so we can come up with something that actually sounds like it makes some sense. It won't embarrass us at the end of the day and show that my expiration date has gone beyond its point and I need to go somewhere and sit my tail down.
Student loan debt, credit card debt.
So, Reverend Jackson, were you okay when millions of jobs were being sent overseas due to globalization and millions of jobs were being bled off to countries like Mexico?
Yeah.
That was good for Black America? Because call me crazy, I don't think that was good for working class people at all.
No,
we
it
lost
wasn't.
Millions of jobs. And this president is actually bringing back jobs into the United States and doing stuff like prison reform with Jared Kushner and others who are working together, including with Democrats.
Now, I'm going to have to wrap this up, but I want to get to the end.
Work with him on prison reform and other issues.
Watch this.
I think these NFL players.
She's talking about how they could work with Trump. And look what Jesse says. She shows a picture of Jesse hanging out with the president. Watch this.
And then you free them up. So opioid is a health crisis. So one goes to the hospital, one goes
That's
to jail.
Jesse. President Trump.
You used to be pals with him, right? You were pals with President Trump, right? When he was not a president, you were pals with him. What happened?
Well, until they changed. I mean, here's a guy that looked at 5 kids at the Central Park 5, determined even when they were declared innocent, they were guilty enough to be executed. Here's a guy who looked at the marches in Charlottesville, Virginia, equated the marches for freedom with the Nazi and Ku Klux Klan. So he changed.
So he's just a different person.
So here's Laura. She knows the game. She's like, oh, So basically what you're saying is it's Trump's fault. He's a different person now. It's not the fact that you're just simply saying, you know what, now that Trump's in office and this could benefit me politically, I'm going to act like I hate the guy. I never knew him. He's denying him. He's hitting him with the Judas, like I never knew the man. Yeah, not realizing that before Trump got into office and ran against your party, you loved him. When he was giving you money for the Rainbow Coalition, you loved him. But now you see an opportunity to step out there and say, I'm going to throw Trump under the bus because he's not relevant to me anymore and he's not able to help me in my goal to stay rich and fat off of race baiting. So I got to kind of switch my attitude and come up with some garbage about Donald Trump and say, this is why I'm not supporting him anymore because he changed. No, Jesse. He didn't change. You changed. Just like most of the Democrats in office and all of the civil rights old school people who are making money off of race baiting, it is let me hitch my wagon to whatever situation is going on that can keep me relevant and allow me to get out there and pump all of this garbage into the minds of the people that y'all are so oppressed and being attacked on every end. Jesse, we see the game. You have expired. Your date is gone beyond. You need to go somewhere and sit your tail down, okay? Now, you've been listening to Kevin and Kevin's Corner. This advice is for Jesse. Go sit down, Jesse, okay? Your time is expired. You've done what you could back when Martin was alive, but it's over now, Jesse. So go sit your tail down. All right. God bless you. If you like this video, hit like, share it. Follow me on Facebook and on Twitter, and we will see you next time in Kevin's Corner. If you want to support Kevin's Corner, there's links in the bottom to do so. God bless. See you next time in Kevin's Corner.